Due to an increase in economic demand, many families have been forced to venture further into creating wealth for their families so as to balance and cater for their children and also to meet the increase in demand. Most parents are forced to wake up early as 4 a.m. before even their kids wake up and come back home at 9 p.m. That's when their kids are already asleep. To mean, the whole of that day, you never go to see the face of your kid or how he or she has been. Or others, they go for vacations, not really vacations, but business meetings abroad, do most of the things and spend little or less time with their kids. So when these parents are going for those meetings, are going for their jobs, they leave their kids in charge of house helps or caretaker who are given the responsibility and authority to take care of their kids. Some of those responsibilities are like washing them, bathing them, taking them to school, picking them up from school. And even some parents have gone to an extent, of making sure that the house help is the one who, buy for their kids clothes and even take them for picnic. You won't be surprised if at the end of the day, you come back home, but the kid still calls the house help mom. It will hurt you as a parent. So at the end of the day, you as a parent, when you come back home and sit yourself down, do you usually ask yourself, yes, I was at my place of work, I did this and this. Do you usually think apart from the business-wise part and think about your kid whom you left in charge of someone? Was he or she well fed the way instructed? Was he bathed well? Or was he beaten up? Or was he molested? Actually molesting. That's the big problem that people usually worry about. And most people usually rarely talk about it. Okay, I remember in 2011, our parent from Juja was in dire need of a house help. And when he found a house help who was a she hired her immediately. The house help was very good at taking instructions. She did everything as wanted. And the mother had a 7-year-old kid. But some months later, a few months after 3 months, the kid got sick and the house help asked for permission to go to her own home so that she can see her child was sick. So the mother allowed the house help to go and see her sick child while she took the son to the hospital. After some very serious checkup, it was found that the kid had got STIs. So after thorough investigation, which involved the police officers, it was discovered that the child was infected by the house help. But the boy wasn't able to say because, the house help used to threaten him that, if you say it, that at the end of the day, tomorrow, your parents are going to get out and you're going to remain just the two of us and I'm going to discipline you. So you see, the fear that this boy had, that's why he never told the parents what was happening to him. So, do you usually sit yourself down and ask yourself those questions? What's happening to my kid? So, my issue here is, how well do we know the people who are working for us, the caretakers who are taking care of our kids? Do we usually make sure that we do a thorough background check of them before we give them the responsibility of taking care of our kids? Do you usually try to know where this person was born, whom has he or she worked for before she came here? You can try and ask, though some people can be have ill manner and tell you that person is not very bad, but the way they treated them is the way that wasn't very good. But if you try and get some information, then I think we'll be leaving our kids in charge of someone who is very good. But if you don't try and have some thorough investigation about the person you're hiring, then definitely our kids are going to land in hands of very bad people. Also, make sure that when you hire someone, these people, they are the one who are molding our child when you're not at home. So when you hire this person, are you sure that he or she is going to mold your child into what you want? Okay, according to the Catholic Bishop Conference, which was held in 2015, they realized that most parents, they usually don't care about their children. There's a situation whereby they said our parents used to go, work home. They come back home at late when their kids are already asleep. They find their kids already asleep. So they never knew what was happening. But sometimes later it was found that the kids were drug addicts. So you see, if you as a parent are not keen on whom you're hiring, then your kids are already going to be in a despair. They aren't going to grow the way you want. If you want them to grow in a spiritual way, definitely they're not going to grow that way. But if you hire someone who's very keen on taking care of them very well, then your kids are going to grow in the way that you always require them to grow in. Also, the bond between you as a parent and your kid should be maintained. As much as you have work, as much as you are very busy, try and create some time with your kids. This will help him or her create that bond with you, get used to you. If you start leaving your kid as early as 7 months with a house help and up to the age of 14, so from 15, that kid maybe goes to high school, and mostly maybe you take him or her to a boarding school. Remember, from the age of 7 months to the age of 14 years old, this kid rarely sees you at home. So trust me, the bond between you and your kid isn't going to be strong like the bond he or she has with the house help, who is very keen on looking at him or her. That's why most kids, they will tend to avoid telling you a lot of things because you were never there. Maybe they can tell this house help or they can keep to themselves. So try as much as possible, you as a parent, to get some little time with your kid. Also, I want to talk about the type of relationship we have with our house help. Remember, when you pick that person to be in charge of your kids, there's that boundary that you usually set. There's that boundary that you can't pass between you and your house help. You must maintain that respect. As much as he is your employee, you must always maintain that respect. Don't abuse him when he or she does something very bad. Just try and correct his or her mistakes. Just try, sit him or her down, talk to him or her. Let him or her tell you what he's passing through. Let him or her tell you where you have gone wrong, you as an employer. So that, when you start, abusing him, shouting at him in front of the kids, he's going maybe to transfer the temper or the hatred that you're giving him or her to your kids. And your kids are the one who are going to suffer. So, if you pay them well, give them the respect they deserve. Let them know that you value them because they're the second parents to your kids. I think we are going to go in a very better and a good road. But if you really try, disgrade them, look down upon them, you even make your kids to disrespect them, they'll never give him or her the respect that he or she wants. And in turn, you'll not even treat your kids the way you want them to be. So I think parents, before you take a step and decide to hire someone, let's try and find out who he or she is. And after hiring them, let's try and maintain the respect we have. In addition, also try to create some times for your kid. Don't just leave your house help 100% in charge of your kids. Thank you.